Hey guys, welcome back to Telltale. I'm Emily.
I'm Greg.
And this is Cyrus, who just decided he wanted some pets right now. Right this moment.
Of course.
So maybe he'll join us. I don't know. But we're back to talk about Shirley Jackson, is it?
Shirley Jackson.
Shirley Jackson's The Lottery.
This is our first foray into a Shirley Jackson work, who's an extremely popular author.
Yes. And this was a really good read. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Okay.
It had some very, The Village vibes for me.
I have a feeling like we can go ahead and spoiler this one, but we're going to warn you. We're going to spoil the ending.
Yeah, it's a really short read.
It's so famous that
it is, and
I feel we can.
Yeah, I found a copy of it on fullreads.com.
Okay.
So you can read the whole thing there. And synopsis is, this town is gathering for an annual event in the square, and it's not revealed to you what this event is, except a man starts walking up with a box, and they start doing a roll call. And then eventually everybody's supposed to come up.
Well, they do call it a lottery.
Yeah, they call it the lottery. But you don't really know what that means or why they do this. And of course, throughout the story, there's murmurings through the crowd where some communities have stopped doing the lottery and everybody's like, that makes no sense, and act like this is such a traditional event and it has so much importance. And so then he calls up everybody in alphabetical order by first head of household. And they pull a piece of paper out of this black box that is ceremoniously, but very unceremoniously brought out. And then everybody looks at their sheet of paper after everybody picks one out. And one family has a black dot on it. And then that family has to walk up and re-pick from the box. And then another person in that family has a black dot. And they stone that person to death. And that's the story.
Yes.
That's it.
And that, of course, is a very powerful short story.
Mm-hmm.
Published in June 26, 1948. In the New Yorker magazine.
New Yorker.
Yes.
My cat is hugging my leg like a creep. Do you like it, Cyrus? Do you like when people get stoned to death? Yes, you do.
So, this is probably one of the most anthologized horror stories ever, aside from Edgar Allan Poe. It has a huge reputation. It was first published in 1948. Of course, it was in a very major magazine, so it got a lot of attention because of that. If it would have been published in Weird Tales, there'd probably be 10,000 people in the world today that have ever heard of it. But it was published in the New Yorker, so a lot of people saw it right away and realized just how powerful of a story it is. It's very much a Twilight Zone sort of story, which was very popular in the 50s. You find a lot. There's a lot of similarities to stuff that Ray Bradbury was doing at that time. It captures a lot of the small town culture, and
the small town cult.
Yeah, and everybody's doing this. It's kind of like a dystopia.
Yeah,
you don't realize it at first, but by the time you finish the story, you realize this has to be some future America where things have gone wrong.
Yes.
And so they have this weird
habit of lotterying people.
And it isn't really explained why. It doesn't say that they're doing this for food or that they're doing it for some kind of religious purposes. Or they're not stoning witches. They aren't accusing anybody of having done anything. So you don't know really what brought this on. But it is something that's been going on for as long as anybody can remember.
That's the thing that was very poignant to me, is that there's constantly this, this is how we've always done it. That this has been going on for a very long time, and this is how we've always done it. And even in parts of where the crowd was murmuring to each other about some places gave up the lottery. This very ageist mentality of, but this is how we've always done things. How foolish of them to give up this tradition. Like, it has so much reverence and importance. but also in the same vein, they constantly act like nobody remembers why.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, that tradition used to be more ceremonious, but nobody remembers it. Like, it's very asinine. The story is very asinine and absurd in a lot of respects, just based off the dialogue and characterizations that's done. I find that so interesting.
But you also, it's very definitely small town America. But this thing's been going on for a very long time, beyond anybody's memory, even the guy that's over 80 years old.
Yeah.
So this is a far future America.
Yeah.
So it's something has gone wrong.
Or an alternate universe.
It could
America.
be. But something has gone wrong. Our whole system has collapsed, and they are all doing this. And it doesn't seem to have a purpose if they just do it.
Yeah, they just do it because it's tradition, not because it serves a purpose. Maybe at one time it did.
So
maybe it was like the purge.
Yeah.
Just kill off someone for, I don't know, get the anger out.
It's almost like an indictment against pretty much anything that you do just because you've always done it.
Yeah.
Any kind of ritual that's done.
It says the dangers of not asking why and questioning the reasoning behind things. Oh, Cyrus, are you being a good boy?
No, he's going to be...
You're being so sweet to everyone. He's like, I want you all to love me.
He was going to curl up with me, but then he realized, wait a minute, I better give equal time here.
Mom's here. Mom knows all the spots I like. Mom lets me dig her claws into her stomach.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you got claws still, buddy. Be
Nail
gentle.
clippers.
I know. I have recently, but they grow so fast.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's definitely the dangers of continuing meaningless traditions. And learning to question when they've become meaningless. And I really appreciated that, because I think there's a lot of things that people just do.
Yeah.
And it's like, no longer sorry. It's like trauma. People just do things because of trauma. And at the time, maybe it served a purpose to cope with the trauma. But the trauma's not happening anymore. You need to heal from it and move on.
Exactly.
So, lots of things that could be pulled out of this.
Yeah, you can go... You can let your imagination go on and on about messages about religion, or messages about society, messages about...
belief systems of any kind. Politics, even.
Yeah, politics and ritual and all those kinds of things. It's all wrapped up in this one little story, which makes this a very powerful, very great story.
Yes, and also points out that humans like to be habitual.
Yeah.
It can be a blessing and a curse sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
So this story definitely deserves the classic status that it has achieved over the years. And so, you know, we're not going to buck that. This is a top tale.
Yes, it is a top tale. For sure. And it's definitely... It is one of the... Again, if you have a busy lifestyle, this is a fantastic short story. It's written in very plain language, but very well developed. So it is a great piece of literature. You got a busy lifestyle, want something spooky in your life, read this. And
if short stories are done right, you get everything that you want out of the story. It's just a lot of short stories are not done right.
Yep.
So you got to go for the good ones, the ones which we say are...
We will tell you and steer you in the right direction for short stories. If you tend to like the weird, the spooky, the horrific, the trauma-inducing, the things that go bump in the night and help you not sleep ever again.
Well, this month anyway.
Yeah, at least one.
I want to...
Lots of caves, too.
Probably next year I want to get into more non-science fiction classics.
There are some, yes, and eventually we will. We have some down the line that we're trying to get at. So
yeah, like Little Women. I've been bugging her that we need to read that sometime, because we've sold more copies of that from our Etsy store, which we have, where you can buy used books that are high quality. If we ever do need to sell something in there that isn't so great, we will document it, and you will know just what's wrong with it. But most of our books, we try to seek out very high quality copies, and we've already sold 3 Little Women. We've only had the store for a year.
Yeah, and a couple of Anne of Green Gables. So we eventually
and
want
I'm
to read
struggling
those.
to sell any of my science fiction.
You'll find your audience, I'm sure. We're getting there. He has some of the best. So I borrowed many and read many. So they're really great pieces of work. We're very picky about what we read. Yeah. We won't tell you about it if we think it sucks.
And for our own collection, I recently got a hold of this.
What is?
Camera's not really catching it very well. It's going really dark.
Yeah.
This is a brand new copy in a brand new line that Penguin Books has been doing its cloth-bound classics for a long time now. Well, they came out with a line that they call Little Cloth-Bound Classics just in August. And they're all shorter books and a smaller size book. And with the usual beautiful design work on gorgeous. The cover. And a joy to read. And this is, of course, it says The Lottery, but it's more than just The Lottery. It's a number of Shirley Jackson's short stories. And this isn't a reprint of any specific short story volume that has been done in the past.
It's a collection.
New collection.
Nice. Very nice.
A little different mixture of her stories in there.
I like the tiny books.
They're excellent books. I bought this thinking that it would be too small and wouldn't have wide enough margins, or
for people with tiny hands.
Maybe not be very well done since it's mass produced, but
I'm sorry.
It's an excellent book. It's an excellent. These Penguin cloth bounds are definitely, I think, living up to our criteria.
They're
for
a pleasure
a good
to hold.
book.
I have very small hands, so small books are really nice to hold. They're easy to manage. They're lightweight. I could throw them in my purse.
Yeah, and this one is paperback size, smaller than an octavo. So really nice book.
Yeah, it's very cute.
And I think that's all I got.
Yeah, honestly, this. There's so many different interpretations you could do of the story.
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack. We would rather you unpack it in the comments after you read it.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of different ways to interpret this. There's a lot of things to, just some of the dialogue between characters as they're waiting for the lottery to finish up. All very important stuff. All interesting to pull apart. All interesting commentary. We could probably go for 3 hours if we were left unchecked. So
probably, yeah.
Keeping it short. Thanks for joining us, guys. Go read it. You can find it just about anywhere. And so
on cue is the battery flashing.
So now it's time to go. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.